A massive legal showdown just slammed the brakes on the Trump administration's power play in American cities. For weeks, we've watched the federal government try to flex its muscles, but a federal judge just delivered a thunderous no to sending the National Guard into Chicago. This isn't just a political skirmish. This is a constitutional battle with real stakes, and it all boils down to one simple question. Can the president treat peaceful protest like a war zone? Here's the core of the drama. A judge has issued a temporary restraining order, or TRO, stopping the National Guard from being deployed to Chicago for at least 2 weeks. This is a major defeat for the administration's crackdown. The judge was crystal clear, saying this deployment would simply add fuel to the fire, and she specifically called the use of chemical weapons on protesters arbitrary and indiscriminate. The judge's biggest mic drop moment came when she directly challenged the administration's claim that there was a rebellion happening in Illinois. She laid out the law, defining rebellion as a planned, deliberate opposition to the government as a whole, and then she delivered the ruling. I have seen no credible evidence that there has been rebellion in the state of Illinois. Think about that. The judge essentially said the president's legal justification was baseless. She noted that even when there were up to 200 protesters, local police were already handling things just fine. But that's not the only victory. In a separate but equally important ruling, protesters won a restraining order for Reverend David Black. Pastor Black from the First Presbyterian Church of Chicago was doing one of the most peaceful things imaginable, praying outside an ICE facility. And what happened? Federal agents shot him 7 times with pepper balls. Now, a federal judge has ruled in the pastor's favor, telling federal agents they are banned from using riot control weapons against protesters, religious leaders, or reporters unless they have a solid reason to believe a serious crime is being committed. The Department of Homeland Security tried to argue that Reverend Black was blocking an IC vehicle, but he shut that down immediately, calling their defense categorically false. He said he was simply standing to the side, praying. He even described agents laughing as they shot people from the roof. This court win is a powerful message. As Reverend Black said, it's a victory for everyone who believes in the right to protest. So what we've witnessed here is a massive check on executive power. A federal judge said no to the National Guard, and a federal judge said no to shooting peaceful protesters with chemical weapons. This is a landmark moment showing that the courts are prepared to stand up for the Constitution and for the rights of everyday Americans. Even when facing off against the highest office in the land, Governor J.B. Pritzker summed it up perfectly. Donald Trump is not a king, and his administration is not above the law. But now I want to know what you think. Is this ruling a win for safety, or does it tie the hands of law enforcement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. And if you want to stay on top of these major legal battles, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe.